What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, let's talk about Thurman and Mario Barrios, who fought last night. Shout out to Thurman for winning a unanimous decision points victory over Mario Barrios. His first fight since July 2019, where he lost to Manny Pacquiao. Very close fight that was. But, you know, I was saying all week that I was hoping that we could see the return of the old Thurman. You know what I'm talking about, the one that was a great talker, the one who delivered in the ring and brought excitement to his fights, you know what I mean? He was always like a very good person to watch, Thurman, when he was in his prime. Very entertaining fighter. And we saw a bit of that swagger back last night. I mean, he did very well. I think that, you know, it did go to points, which I predicted. I thought that he would win a points decision over Mario Barrios. However, the closer that fight was getting, I was starting to think to myself, maybe I might edge towards Barrios here, but I didn't flat out pick that option. So I'm still going to stick with what I said, where I said Thurman on points. I'm going to keep that. And yeah, so it went. I mean, Barrios fought well, but he was just a step behind Thurman really in this fight for me. Thurman was landing some very good shots, man. And some of the shots that he throws can be unorthodox, but he throws them with mean intentions. They do carry some power. And they do, he snapped Mario Barrios' head back a good couple of times with some of those shots. And, you know, he was like moving like a veteran in there in the ring. Do you know what I mean? Showed some good lateral movement. He would like jump in and throw his bombs and then he'd jump back out. Like that was some of the old Thurman, what I was used to seeing. And the scorecards, I believe, they were quite wide for Thurman. I mean, I think he only lost like at most 2 or 3 rounds on the judges' scorecards, won the rest of them. So, yeah. Even though it was a solid decision win for Thurman, it didn't go without a few bumps along the way, particularly in the 8th round. Now, what did I say on this show last week? I said that Mario Barrios, he needs to work Thurman's body. If he can get to the body, work that, because that is a clear weakness of Thurman. We've seen it a good couple of times against Manny Pacquiao, against, who was it? Was it Collazo? Where, you know, people land Sean Porter as well in the first fight. Like, you get to Thurman's body, he literally can't hide it. You know what I mean? Like, he bowls over in pain, and Mario Barrios was able to land a body shot on Thurman, and he was in pain again. You know, he diverted onto the back foot a lot more. Mario Barrios could sense it. He was kind of pumping himself up, but he wasn't able to, you know, deliver what he needed to do on Thurman to get him out of there, or at least drop him or anything like that. Thurman, he's 33 years old now. He did show some good veteran skills to kind of get out of that round. And pretty much onwards then, it was really, mostly, it was just Thurman all the way. Like I said, I was impressed with this performance, considering that he was out of the ring for pretty much 2.5 years, Thurman was. And to go up in there against a solid person like Mario Barrios, I haven't seen much of him, but I was impressed with him against Gervonta Davis. And you have to remember that this is his first fight at welterweight. However, he is got a very tall frame. He looks like he'll be able to carry that weight very well. But yeah, Thurman, you know, he's shot himself back into contention now. I wouldn't say that he's ready to really beat any of the top 2 guys, or maybe the top 3. But, you know, maybe another fight in between, and we could start looking at a potential Terence Crawford fight. But to be fair to Thurman, man, he was talking about that now. Do you know what I mean? Maybe if he was able to get that next level up of opponent, he'll be able to raise his game as well. So, yeah, I mean, I'm all in favour of him taking a fight against Bud, if that fight does come on the table, because we know that Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas are pretty much booked up together. They're going to be fighting in April, May of this year. 3 of the 4 welterweight belts will be on the line in that fight. So that's a big fight, which has big implications on that division. Terence Crawford holds the WBO belt. We know this. He's a free agent right now. He's left Top Rank. So, you know, where does he go from here? I've said it before. The logical move would be to go to the PBC, but we don't know, you know, what's being discussed. We don't even know if they are in discussions. We don't know what sort of offers are being laid out for him. Do you know what I mean? The PBC is surely going to know that they would have Crawford, you know, where they want him, because they know that Crawford wants to fight all of those guys who they've already got. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that develops. I did see Eddie Hearn actually come out on an interview and say that he's had a few discussions with Terence Crawford, but he openly admits that he don't think he'll be able to get the sort of fights that Terence Crawford wants. So really, it's really just a PBC or nothing for Crawford. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. You know, with the PBC, as we know, they are very in-house. They support in-house fights. It's very rare they let their fighters go outside of, you know, or across the street, so to speak. And that's not a good thing. That's not good for boxing at all, man. And, you know, maybe Bud will have to just bite the bullet and just, you know, maybe take a little deal with the PBC or work together with them or something. I don't know. Because that's where his legacy is going to lie, with those particular type of fights. You know, they got all the fighters there for him. So let's see what happens, man. Back to Keith Thurman. Maybe he might try and go for a Bud. He said he wanted all the champions, and we know who the champions are in that division. Like I said, 2 of them are already occupied, so that leaves Terence Crawford. Keith Thurman, man, I don't think he will be able to beat Bud right now. Bud will definitely work that body of Keith Thurman, man. He would. And, you know, Bud has knocked everybody out since he's been at welterweight, so he's carried that power up as well. I know one time was the nickname for Keith Thurman because he was knocking people out, but he hasn't really carried that power since he's moved up the level of competition. You know, the stoppages haven't really come anymore. Some people have, you know, they've mocked it and called him run time. But no, I still think Keith Thurman could have a say in the future of this division. It's good to have him back. Do you know what I mean? I like seeing Keith Thurman out there. He's a good talker. And yeah, like I said, it wasn't punch perfect tonight. You know, if he was able to get the knockout, that would have helped. But, you know, like you said, we have to keep things in perspective here. He's been out of the ring for like 2.5 years. And Mario Barrios, he's been active and he's a good fighter. So listen, I'm not taking that away from Furman. Let's see what happens next, man. I want to get your thoughts and opinions on it in the comments below. Let me know what you'd like to see next for Keith Thurman. Realistically, where does he go from here? If it's not somebody like a Terence Crawford and you think that might be too soon for him, who else do you think you could see him out there fighting? I mean, Boots, Virgil Ortiz, would he take that risk? You've got Conor Benn out there now. You've got Avanesian out there. You know, the welterweight division the welterweight division is always going to have like solid fighters in there, man. So Keith Thurman has shot himself back into contention for sure, and he's a welcome addition to these rankings, man. It's good to have Keith Thurman back. I hope that he stays active and I hope that he continues fighting, but let's see what happens here. As for Mario Barrios, sorry, before I go, if he does stay at welterweight, you know, it's not the end of the world having a loss. You know, defeats happen in boxing. You know, he was able to last the distance with Keith Thurman in his first welterweight fight. His face afterwards did look a bit of a mess though. Do you know what I mean? He did have swelling all over his face. So, you know, it was a hard night for him, but he came out of it the other end. And yeah, I'm sure that he'll still have a future and he'll be able to, you know, draw some big fights out there. So shout out to him and shout out to Keith Thurman as well. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next video.